as per the trend, what we are doing now is that first I'm discussing a case and then I'm taking a question answer sessions. Sometimes what happens that there are so many questions which are left behind. So if I'm not able to answer, make sure that on the next YouTube live you come early and you put your questions first, so that it becomes easy for me to answer the question. Now, for example, I'll just take one case and then we'll go to the question answers. There was a beautiful case where the patient had a typical symptom, of going from hypothyroidism to hyperthyroidism and hyperthyroidism to hypothyroidism. So the doctor was also very much confused on what to give and what not to give. The patient came to me. No, the patient came to me. Now, what rubric comes to your mind? That is very, very important, depending on the disease state. Now, if you understand this, what is this called? Yeah, Dr. Alexander, welcome. Disha, welcome. So, what is this called as? The patient was first hypothyroid. The medicines were given. The patient went to hyperthyroid. So, for hyperthyroid, the medicines were given. The patient again went to hypothyroid, and this was continuing. And the nature of the patient was that only, that the patient was not able to sustain any job or income or career, and this was the state. So the state of the mind was matching with the state of the body. Now this is very important thing. If you get a case where the mind symptom has to match with the disease symptom. And in Sora, what I asked in school days, he was suffering from some skin problem, and she had taken allopathy medicines, a lot of local applications, and the patient was much better with that. And a few symptoms added, I gave the remedy Cilicia. Now, if you understand Cilicia, in this case there were no symptom, but whatever I have told you in summary of the case, what rubric comes to your mind that matches the mind and the disease of the patient. So if you can understand, we will go first with the rubrics. I'll just finish my thought and then Dr. Asif will tell you the answer for that, which repertory and which software. Okay. So what rubric comes to your mind and why did I give the patient Cilicia? Of course, in psoriatic stage there were some symptoms of Cilicia. The Sora was there on the skin, but the entry point rubric is very, very important. If you understand how to enter through a primary rubric, the main rubric, then automatically everything falls into place. The patient is coming to me for the past 6 to 8 months, much better with that, and now she's off the thyroid medicines and she's much better with that. So just churn your mind and understand which rubric I entered the case. Importance is not which remedy I gave. The importance is that how I entered the case and what rubric I took for prescription. This case I had just done a webinar for a group and I presented this case, and the whole case I presented, it was about 1 hour case, but then for you I have just taken the summary of the case. Okay, so I'll just go forward. Sir, which software is best? All software, Dr. Ashfi, are good, whatever I have seen in my practice. Whatever you put in the software will come out, like an answer. So your understanding what to put in the software is very, very important. Whatever rubric you put, the software will give the answer. Some software will have more mind rubrics, some software will have more body rubrics, some software will have head symptoms more, generalities more. That depends on software, but all softwares are good. I use complete repertory and I'm very happy with that. Sometimes I may use a Phatak repertory or a NER repertory, but most of the time Phatak repertory is good. The main thing is your interpretation of the case, and that interpretation converting into the language of the repertory or converting into the language of Mater Medica, and then you can get the remedy right. Okay, so interpretation is main. So Dr. Vishaka, good afternoon. So if you have seen my case, whatever case I have told you, so there are a lot of doctors online. Which rubric which I might have taken for the prescription was, I'll tell the rubric, I'll not waste time also. The rubric which I took for the case was persist in nothing, want of pertinacity. There's a beautiful rubric, want of pertinacity. And if you go to that rubric, there are few remedies. I'll discuss that, but I'll take a question first. Pain in back, lumbar, right side, tension, painful, burning, and like friction sensation, aggravation, exertion, aggravation, lifting. Uh, I feel there are no, this is a very normal symptom for any backache, the type of pain and type of this. These are quite normal symptoms. Any other symptoms, I would be very happy to answer the question, but still whatever symptoms you have written on the symptoms, the few remedies which are very very common that comes to my mind. The first is graphitis, calcarea carp, lycopodium, rustox. These are the remedies which are very very suitable for this case. Of course, you might have thought also of these remedies. You can add one remedy called as Naxomica, root also you can add. But these are very, what you call common remedies which would come if you repetize such a case of backache with normal, rubrications or aggression by lifting and right side and backache, is quite normal. So if you add to this some other symptoms, I'll be able to answer it better. Dr. Vivek, good afternoon. Dr. Bharat, lycopodium, yeah. Lack of constitution, like guiding sensation, grinding sensation. No, in my practice, I have not seen a grinding sensation in back. But then, if you see, backache symptom, you can always take few symptoms which are that it is called rubbing. Rubbing sensation is there. So you can grinding. I have not seen in my case. But rubbing I have seen, there's rubbing and the patient has pain. For example, there was a case, there was the patient says that whenever I walk, I cannot walk because, the muscles rub over each other. The muscles rub over each other. Now there are two things, either rubbing aggravates and rubbing ameliorates. So you can take the symptom rubbing. There are a lot of remedies where it is written rubbing ameliorates, but there are cases where the rubbing aggravates. And then you can think about bryonia, think about macphos, think about guaiacum, think about millefolium, think about lecithin. But there are a lot of cases where the patient comes and says the rubbing is better by rubbing. It is either internal rubbing or external rubbing. External rubbing, the patient is better with that. Then you must think about phosphorus, think about Plumber metallicum, think about pulsatilla, and think about thuja. Okay. Better by lying on back. So better by lying on back, it is two things, you can take. Lying on painful part, the patient is better, and the patient is lying on back is also better. So there are two things in this case. For example, we'll take the first one, that the patient is lying on back, better. So when the patient says that when he's lying on back and he's better, in fact, when the patient says, when he's lying on back and on something hard, I have had a lot of cases where the patient says that whenever I sleep on a very stiff mattress, I feel much better in backache. And then the remedy would change. Of course, rustox will come in everything, but then the remedy would be natramur, sepia, and you'll be very happy, Dr. Alexandra. Lycopodium is also there in this case. Lying on back and lying on something hard ameliorates. And simple lying on back, you can always take natramur, ruta, rustox, and phosphorus. Okay, so this is lying amelioration aggravation. Lying on something soft. Okay, so this is absolutely different when what I have told. So in this case, then you can always take the remedies ruta, natramur, phosphorus, kalicar, the rustox, and just add two remedies which I have found very useful in my practice. First remedy is cascarilla, CASCARILLA. Now cascarilla is a remedy where lying on back is better and the patient has a history of constipation or the patient has constipation per se. Second remedy, which is again very rare but I have got good results, is Aesculus hypocastinum. Added to the symptoms of lying on back, lying on back aggravates, one symptom is that the patient has history of portal congestion or the patient has history of classical piles acute. Let us go forward. Sir, kindly tell some medicine for very severe pain for neck and shoulders, then arms left side. Yeah, see, this is a very, very common symptom. All remedies for a backache in relation to muscle would come, So you can have Ruta, you can have Macphos, you can have Naphyllum, you can have Semesifuga, you can have Actas picata. So there are a lot of remedies. So it will be better if, I have few more symptoms so that I'll be able to differentiate better. Okay. So let us go forward. Now, lying on back aggravates if I think if Dr. Alexandra has not got it properly. I'll tell you some basic remedies where the patient says the lying on back aggravates. Please write down 3 remedies, again very, very useful. One remedy is Berberis vulgaris. Second remedy is Ferrum metallicum. Third remedy is Curera. And the fourth remedy is a very important remedy and general remedies, Arnica montana. So these 4 remedies are also again very, very useful. Okay. If the patient is continuously suffering from pinworm, if they want prophylaxis, so what to think whether constitutional or pinworm remedy specific, a child is angry lying on abdomen. See, whenever you are prescribing for pinworm, now first of all, if the diagnosis is already been made for pinworm, then we do have some remedies for pinworm also. But if you ask me, whether to give constitutional or not, I would say give constitutional, because the philosophy behind this is that worms complacency, lot of people have, but a lot of people don't have any symptoms. But when your immunity goes down, then automatically you get symptoms of worms, or you get any symptoms. So for me, if you tell constitutional remedies are very, very important, but you have added one symptom that the patient is better by lying on the abdomen, so then it becomes a very, very important symptom. For example, lying on abdomen, first remedy very, very important is Medoreum. But do add Bellispar. I think last time I told you about Bellispar, Colocin, Sulfur, Belladonna, Calcaraphos. I have long working hours on computer, pain from my back coming. See, whenever you have long working hours on the computer, physiotherapy or simple exercise are very, very important. I also have long working hours on computer, 10 to 10, sometime. So in between, just do some exercise, shrugging your shoulders, and do some exercise for 5 minutes. I tell the patient to wait, I do some exercise and then come back. Everything is not related to medicine. Everything is not medicine. Sometimes, exercise is very important. There are muscle spasm. So exercise will do the magic. No need for medicines, okay? Dr. Alexandra, I hope you have got something related to backache. Okay. So let us go forward. Yes. Everybody is happy. Exercise, yeah. In fact, if you have exercise. So if you understand some answers, just write something, write thumbs up or not. So I know that this question is through, then I'll go to shift to some other question. Otherwise, I can always give some more explanation about the questions, answers which I have given of the question. Okay. So let's go forward. If there are no questions, now I told you the rubric. Pertinacity. On a pertinacity, want of pertinacity, I give the patient simple remedy Cilicia. Of course, combining with the Sora and combining with few remedies, which few symptoms of the Sora. Now, if you see the rubric persists in nothing, my dear friends, persists in nothing. Cilicia is there, but we also have Lycopodium. We also have Lachesis. Can you believe it? Lachesis persists in nothing. There's one rare remedy which I used was Gratiola. And of course, one remedy you add in your repertory or a remedy, that is sulfur. So persist in nothing. Cilicia, Gratiola, Lachesis, Bratacarp. These are the remedies which I have used frequently with very good results. Salams and hello. Glad to hear from you. Same here, Dr. Raha. Welcome. So let us go forward. And you can take the other rubrics also, want of pertinacity or simple rubric called as pertinacity. So is something different also. Okay. Rishabh Mehta. Okay. So let us go forward. Of course, if you take the rubric pertinacity means the patient is very he persists in what he does till he get results. Then you must think about bryonia, natrum card, phosphorus, plumbum, sulfur again, and one remedy again. In fact, two remedies which I have used in my practice with very good results. The patient was a cricketer, continued no result, not getting selected in team, but kept on playing, and now he's been selected for a major tournament. I gave the patient king crab, that is Lumulus, Limulus. One more remedy that you must think about pertinacity, that is Gurare, Gurera. The two rare remedies. Sir is unable to do stretching at present due to severe pain. If pain gets less, then you can not stretching. I'm not telling you stretching, do stretching, do some physiotherapy exercise because it is an occupational disease. So do some physiotherapy. Okay, everything is not related to medicine. If you do some physiotherapy, some muscle relaxant exercises, you will be able to treat yourself. Why spoil the medicine? Why give medicine which is never required for you? Okay, the disease is created by you, that's why. So give some exercise, physiotherapy. Let us go forward. Again, pertinacity. So I hope you understood the difference of pertinacity and want of pertinacity. Want of pertinacity, you can always think about rubric changeable also. He does one thing, one job, not happy, feels nothing is happening, he'll change the job. He'll again do the other job, he feels I'm not getting more money, he is getting good salary with this job, he'll change the job. So pertinacity is related to lots in life. Homeopathy also. Not happy with one school of thought, going to other school of thought. Not happy with that school of thought, going to other school of thought. So there is no persistency. That is what I am telling you. So it can be a homeopathy doctor also. Oh, no, Staphylococcus aureus. Acha, so Staphylococcus aureus, I have gone up to 1M, still not fully resolved. Okay, Dr. Alexandra. So I think we did not give arsenic, and then the patient was again admitted, and he again comes back. So just send me one of the reports of the patient and fresh symptoms. Let us try this case. Okay. Going up or changing remedy? No. Habib, 6 mm gallstone. You can think about cardosmor, belladonna, filtauri. For cholesterol also, this all. Going upper or changing remedy? No. Staphylococcus aureus 1M, you have gone for a pathological case, so you must change the remedy. In this case, make sure that you 80% better, so very nice. Then you must go for LM potency. Don't change the remedy. Staphylococcus aureus 1M if you have given, then go for Staphylococcus aureus 0/8 in repetition. I think the patient should be better. No need to change the remedy. Good afternoon, Zenith. Sciatica with numbness in foot and less sensation. No, so sciatica we have done so many times, and in sciatica, remember one thing, that go for the modalities. And normally most of the patient have sciatica pain aggravation by stretching, sciatica pain aggravation when they're lying on the bed, sciatica pain cannot walk for distance. So in this case, if you take only one symptom, there will be a lot of difficulty. So in sciatica, it's such a painful condition. Make sure, now if you have written, I just forgot, you have written with numbness. Now whenever there is a lot of pain, that the body tries to protect yourself by making the area numb, so there is no further injury. Okay, so there is no further injury. That means if there is no further injury, the body will try to cure itself. Okay, so of course, if it is with numbness, there are few remedies which are very, very important. First thing about Nephilim, second thing about Hypericum, third thing about Nux vomica, and fourth thing about bryonia. Of course, there are lots and lots of remedies, but these remedies I have got good results in my practice. Potency, 30 potency, Uabinum. I have chronic gastritis for 1 year. Sometimes I feel burning sensation in the stomach, constipation and gas problem. You can think about Lycopodium, think about Robinar, think about Iris versicularis, think about Leptendra, think about these remedies. If you add more symptoms, I'll be very specific. Aspergilloma treatment है क्या होम्योपैथी में? First thing I would like to tell you, homeopathy can treat a lot of the conditions which we never thought of in our practice. Depending on how good case you have taken and how much chronic is the disease. 30 potency, yeah. So very nice. Stephysagria has worked. Dr. Alexandra, shift LM potency and make sure that the patient is totally cured. If the patient is cured, do write on the YouTube so that we also know that the remedy is working. So brain, right pain, cervical pain, best homeopathy medicine. How can I tell best homeopathy medicines? All remedies are best. Brain, right pain, cervical region. What to tell? There are so many remedies, right side remedies regarding to brain and pain. You can write down. Okay, I'll give a battery of remedies to you. So right side headache, cervical pain, you can think about remedies. Yeah, please write down bryonia, belladonna, arsenic, argentum metallicum, naxomica, lycopodium, lysine, sarsaparilla, apis mellifica. Okay, you can add to that I think agaricus also. Sumati, I hope you got the answer. Sumati, make sure that whenever you ask a question, it is on detail so that I'll be able to understand the question and answer it better. Okay. So let us go forward. Sir, but there might be blood clot possibility. Yeah, there might be a lot of things, But symptomatic, if you're asking, I'm telling the remedies, you must, in every case, in most of the case, when you see the pathology involved, make some investigation, understand the prognosis, how to tell the patient how much time to wait, what to look for, what symptoms are alarming. That is all there. Symptomatic, I'm telling you. 9-year-old with milia on right upper lip, 1.5 years, Stephysagria did not have, there is no pain, itching. See, milia, if you have some more symptoms, you'll be able to answer the question better. But Stephysagria did not work. You can think about thuja, you can think about cilicia, you can think about lyco, you can think about gentum, you can think about ichnesia, azatericta. These are all remedies also there. I know that I'm very fast in speaking about the mater medica and all, because I have to finish lot of questions. But I hope if you don't understand, you can repeat the same question so that I'll be able to answer it better. Because I feel that whatever I am telling, and if message doctors are writing, I think the message is conveyed. Bloating, stools not fully evacuated, hiatus hernia causing reflux, watery stools occasionally. Hiatus hernia and reflux symptoms, are so common these days, and because of that, the patient suffers from this. Sometimes the patient comes with symptoms of plug sensation. I have a plug sensation, and then we think of remedies for plug sensation, but basically it is that bloating is there, and because of that, the reflux is there, and there is a lot of GERD problem here. So it's a very classical case of GERD sometimes. Some remedies which are very, very important. I'll divide this in two things. One, the polycrest, and one, some acute remedies. The polycrest remedies, think about Lycopodium, China, Calicarb, Lycopodium, sulfur, Calcarecarb, Argentum, Carbovage. Some rare remedies which I have used and have given good results. Think about Raphanus, think about Tilia, Ptelea. Again, very important remedy. So Raphanus, Tilia, sickle core, one case I had cured, carbon sulf, capsicum, and then you can think about Minianthus also. Is there any medicine which can prevent and dissolve clot as using sciatica? Yeah, there are a lot of medicines. If you see, typically, you can think about all blood remedies. Like in Crataegus, it was written in Boric that it has a solvent power over the crustaceous and calcareous deposits of the arteries. You can think about hemophilia in case of varicose vein and all. Right side's head pain includes cervical, breathing, wheezing problem. I am fear. I'm not getting the question. Okay, right side pain, cervical pain. Okay, now whenever there is right side pain, my dear friend, make sure that how is the pain is very very important. Which type of pain is there? Throbbing pain, tearing pain, pulsating pain, and whether the pain is migrating from the head to the neck to any area of the body, you can have that pain. So this is also very very important. But if you ask me, there are some remedies I can tell you. See, there are a lot of remedies, but the question has to be proper so that I'll give a proper answer, and that will help you in your practice. Otherwise, I'll give you a lot of remedies, but then generalized remedies. For example, I'll tell you right side cervical pain, pain in the head. Think about calcarea, think about bromium, think about bryonia, think about lycopodium, pulsatilla, sulfur, and veratramal. Constipation in old age, loss of tonicity, think about opium, thuja, selenium, cascara, senna. Okay, let us go forward. If the member of the same family having habit of nail biting, how to prescribe medicine? There is see, it is a habit of nail biting, the thing which you cannot control. So you lack the self control. I hope you're understanding. There is a fantastic rubric. Loss of self control, or you can say want of control. And then you have the remedy: self control, loss of lachesis, netramure, oleander, kajuputta. Want of self control, staphysagrria, lachesis, calicar, causticum, argentum. Hello, I hope everybody is enjoying it. I am fast but because the questions are fast, so I have to be fast. 5-year-old likes his routine. Brata. Foul smelling sweat in female from underarms. Lot of remedies. Ask the patient whether it's stirring the linen, it is yellow, the linen becomes hard, it is white. Lot of other things, okay? Loss of self-control also be OCD. Yes, you can take that. Loss of self-control, definitely you can take that. But we have a specific rubric for obsessive compulsive neurosis also. Okay. Yes. So still 3 minutes left. We can always go forward. We can always fit in few questions and fit in few remedies in the answers. Yes. So self-control means one is medicine for vocal tics. I have told you, I don't use any specific medicine for vocal tics. These questions you have been asking for 2-3 YouTube. My answer is same. So please don't waste time of yours and mine and people. You can ask some other question. Okay. Let us go forward. So there is a difference between self-control, loss of, and self-control, want of. So this is a question for you all. Next time I'll ask the same question. What is the difference between loss of self-control and want of self-control? So don't make a mistake of using the rubric where there is want and there is loss of self. Okay. So this is a question for next time's YouTube. Sir, world top diamonds, brightest medicine, homeopathy, God gift gold medicine, good gift gold medicine. Okay. Yes, very nice. Is there any rubric for child who is controllable in fixed routine? No. सर कहाँ के बाद नींद बहुत आती है लेकिन दिन में. Sleepy after sleep, there's a rubric in the repertoire. You can go and see that rubric. It's a very very interesting. Sleepiness after eating. There are a lot of medicines and there's rubrics. So don't ask the generalized rubric. Otherwise the time is just lost by just giving some remedies which are no use for anybody, because the rubric is so big, and there are so many remedies for that. So eat less, do some exercise, don't give any medicine to the patient, don't waste your medicine, because sleepiness eating after you have Naxamica, agaricus, and phosphorus, and rustox, and ruta, and staphysagrria, china, bovista, calica, lot of remedies. So make the patient agile, tell him to do some exercise, don't waste your medicines, okay? So yes, it is already half an hour up, and thank you everybody, thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoying sharing my knowledge with you. Thank you, until next YouTube, next Saturday. Thank you.